be doing the most difficult thing possible.
Reviewing our own video. What's up guys, welcome back to 4 Review Fridays. Today we're going to review something a little different, our own work. We want to share it with you guys, our process, and break it down how we got the shots we got, what we liked about it, what we don't like about it, what we've learned from it, and what tips we can give you guys to help you create something similar.
So the video we're going to review today is a video we did for a shabu restaurant. Now shabu is like a Japanese, Korean kind of style.
Let's just show them.
Okay, fine. Roll it! Do people say that?
So we hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a little different. We were trying to get this unique approach of kind of feeling like a mixture of Chef's Table meets more of trendy kind of today videos that you see, you know, with club music, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, fast cuts, that kind of stuff. So let's talk about the gear that we used.
So for this shoot, we used the Panasonic GH5s. We've been using it on a majority of our shoots over the past year. It's a solid camera, always performs, it's very consistent, and we love the image quality and the ease of use with that camera. It's really great, fun, easy to use. Do big files, there's non-stop recording as far as no time limits, that kind of thing. It's a great camera for an overall gig like this. So we shot this entire thing in 4K, except for a few clips that were shot in 1080 and slowed down to the,
120.
120. Actually, you know what? I don't even know if we used that much of that. In the final edit there, we probably only used 4K 60.
The flame shot that you see light up, that's in 1080, 120.
Yeah, for that we used the GH5s, and we were actually for the first time ever, first experience of using the Metabones speed boosters. First time using that, we wanted to use that with the Canon EF lenses, and the EF lens that we chose was the
100mm
macro.
100mm macro from Canon, which is an amazing, absolutely amazing lens.
Yeah, why don't we own that one yet? Money.
Then the other two lenses that we used was the Sigma 18 to 35mm and the Sigma 50 to 100mm.
Yeah, and not just the Sigma Art series, and those lines, oh.
Yeah, so as you can tell, some of those shots are just absolutely amazing. I mean, we were blown away when we were even shooting them, how amazing those Sigma lenses render the image.
Those lenses were super fast too. The Sigma alone was down to a 1.8 before adding the speed booster enhancer. That was down like 0.7 or something.
I think it was
insane.
I think it's 0.2.
Yeah, it was crazy the depth of field. Obviously, you can't really shoot anything at that depth of field. You have to like be on a tripod or something, but like, man, that thing just got so shallow, and like everything you hear on the internet, everyone complained about the GH5, you can't get that shallow depth of field. This combination crushes that rumor.
Yeah, absolutely. So the speed booster combination with any of the Sigma Art lenses or any of the Canon lenses really is an amazing combination. It renders things beautifully.
And for the first time ever on this shoot, we used a motorized slider. We actually bought the slider for this exact gig. We were trying to achieve that Chef's Table, one of these kind of things. Show it. Yeah. Go ahead and show the clip, Corey. Show it, Corey.
And make the editor do all the work.
We were trying to achieve that kind of time lapse, and that can only be done with a motorized slider. See, what you do is we set up in a nice location where there's a lot of action, and it's this fluid movement all the way across.
Yeah, and think of it like, because we're definitely into the Crane 2, and this is the first time we also used the Ronin S.
Yeah,
which
that's
was
right.
Absolutely amazing. So we can get into that
Future
too.
review coming on the Ronin S as well. It's a completely different tool to add to your arsenal along with your gimbals and your tripods and your jibs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, now we had some complaints with it, but again, we'll look for a full
Future
review.
reviews.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coming. So it's really good. It's a great tool if you have to know the situations to use it. And this was one of the situations where it worked out perfectly.
All right, these first couple clips are just done with sliders, and that's what makes it so unique looking, was it's kind of doing your parallax over the adding of all the sauces. That's what really makes that shot look really cool. Plus, the sped up time lapse, what makes it kind of sync to the music there.
Yeah, it's one of those shots is basically you are syncing your slider's motion with the motion that's happening in the scene. So, for example, the waiter was actually putting on all the tops, but when you speed that up with the music, it sounds and looks amazing.
Yeah, that's great. So we're using the gimbal. The Ronin S actually is on this clip right here. Check that out. That's just a simple move forward, just walking through the restaurant there. All the left to right panning that you're seeing is just the GH5 on a gimbal setup, just kind of walking nice and slow and steady through the restaurant, getting that B-roll that you need of the environment. And this restaurant was beautiful. It's immaculate. Look at the artwork. Look at all the detail and choices of textures and just like the glass and just everything about that restaurant.
The murals are just
super good
amazing.
aesthetic.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
It was easy to make that place look beautiful.
Absolutely.
All right, so these food shots are just top-down shots with the tripod. It's the ones that are static there, and we just bring in food in and out, and then we also would move the light around to get some cool shots. Took a lot of macro shots of the food, a lot of up-close detail of people eating, people like, chowing down on this delicious food. Such good stuff.
So all the people shots were done on either the Ronin S or the Crane 2.
Yeah, the only thing, looking back on this shot, it would have been nice to have some extra lights in this shot to really make everyone pop, the food pop and that kind of stuff. But this is just kind of working with a restaurant while it's open. It's very hard to get some of the shots that you want to get. I recommend if you are working with a restaurant in the future, see if you can get them to either shut down the restaurant for a couple hours beforehand or afterwards, or come on a day where it's really, really slow and get the shots that you need that you can get with extra lighting, because it's going to make everything in your film pop a lot more and have a little higher quality. Do the best with what you can. That's basically
absolutely.
it is, but
make the best of it.
if you can, add lights.
Add lights. All right, so let's go into the next shots here.
This is one of our chef's table style shots where we take the slider, aim that down, and get a nice transition of what's going on in the restaurant and when they're crafting all these goods, because that's the chef table shot. That's the shot we needed to get.
Yes. So that chef's table shot is essentially just camera, slider, and it's moving in a very, very slow fashion.
Yeah.
And then we speed it up in post.
Yeah, and that just looks great. It gives so much interest to the shot that could normally be boring off the tripod, but if you throw on, a nice motorized slider, set in your movement, which is really easy to do on these sliders nowadays, and you'll have a really nice, dynamic, unique shot.
That's the power of sliders.
Yes, that's why you buy a slider, for shots like that.
All right, let's continue.
All right, just following people in the restaurant was done with the Ronin S. We would just follow them around with the Sigma to 18-35 on the GH5.
That gimbal shot where you're actually following them along gives you that POV experience. So they also do drinks. So we did a bunch of setups with some really, really cool drinks that they do.
And this is where we used lighting.
Yes. Lighting was super important on these. So if you watch here,
we set up the shot with everything we needed, and then we took a light, which is a portable light, which we did a review on, which is the ALF7s by Aputure.
Yeah, so here's a clip of the actual fuller clip, not just the one from the video, so that you can see what the light does. So as all we're doing is essentially setting up the drink, and with the light, we're just moving around it. And that creates a dynamic motion with no motion being there.
Yeah, it changes your shadows, it changes the contrast, and just the way the photo just overall breathes, I guess is the way to say that.
Absolutely.
It adds a lot to a video clip.
So so use that as a pro tip.
You're adding, pro tip, you add movement without really adding movement.
Yeah.
Move the light.
Move the light out of scene, which is great. Yeah. All right. And then the finale here was social eating. The goal was really to just focus in on people having a good time eating. Now, mind you, when you're shooting people eating, it's very awkward because people, it's not fun
unless
to
it's
watch
actors,
people
but other
eat,
than that,
right?
it's hard to get them to not look at the camera. So the best thing is to just reassure them when you go in there and say, hey guys, we're filming you, just do your thing, don't even act like we're here the best you can, have a good time, have a few more drinks, loosen up, do whatever you need to do so you can not be focused on the fact that we've got a huge lens with a huge black metal thing right in front of your face just filming everything you're doing. But
So this is where the 50 to 100 millimeter worked really well
Yes.
on the crane. Now we can get these smooth shots when we were maybe 10, 15 feet back from them, so we weren't intrusive into their space, but we still were very close and intimate with them, sort of having their fun experience at the restaurant. So,
and that also added a great shallow depth of field by collapsing the background and everything. It just made the shot look more cinematic.
so that's when Lynn's choices are really not necessarily a art choice, but also a practical choice. So that's the video.
That's the video. We hope you guys enjoyed that video, and if you have any questions about how we did certain parts or color graded or anything like that, put that in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer that.
Absolutely.
And also, we'll throw in the links to all the gear below of what we used here, so if you want to check out any of that as well, you can.
Yeah.
And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel, help us grow the Buccaneer family, and
Yeah, we'll see you next week.